wake up hangover-free. To learn more, go to vinvillage.com and let Alcotox make hangovers a thing of the past.
Would you like sparkling wines that are reminiscent of great champagne? Or full-bodied reds that drink like some of the finest Bordeaux's? Trump Winery, nestled in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia, prides itself in making the highest quality, terroir-driven wines from their estate-grown fruit. Located near Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, the birthplace of American viticulture. To learn more, go to trumpwinery.com. That's trumpwinery.com. It's time to try some Virginia wine.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. VinVillage connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. VinVillage is where wine lovers connect.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goli, one thing that you have helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians, because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
You take your smartphone almost everywhere you go. Now WSRadio.com can be there too. Search WS Radio in the Play Store for your Android devices or iTunes for Apple, and download the WS Radio application. WSRadio.com, on your phone and in your ear everywhere you go. Download the WS Radio application. Do it now. It's very easy. WSRadio.com.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Accomplishment Coaching is proud to present the following fine programming. Accomplishment Coaching, where coaches lead and leaders coach. AccomplishmentCoaching.com.
Welcome to the Coaching Show with your host, Master Certified Coach Christopher McCullough.
That's me. Thank you very much, Dick Warren, and thank you, my dear listener, you right there, you. Thank you for being here today and listening to this, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Listen, hey, I guarantee something. You could change your life out of this broadcast. That's right. If you talk about the people we've got today, if you listen to these folks, you are going to learn something, you and I both, and this could change your life, so watch yourselves. Here's what I want you to know. We've got some extraordinary guests, some people doing really extraordinary things in the world today, and we've got a guest co-host, and I'm going to tell you about our media partnership and our sponsors. So that's what's going to happen. You've been warned. Stay with me. Ready? First of all, here's what you need to know. Our longest-term sponsor for this program is Accomplishment Coaching. Now, if you're like me, well, you may have problems. But if you are like me and you are looking for coach training or any sort of development in your career, you're looking for the finest. You're looking not for the, cheapest, the most popular, the easiest. You're looking for the finest training in the world. And if you are one of those elite few looking for the finest training, looking for the Harvard, the Oxford, the Yale, the Stanford of coach training, check out accomplishmentcoaching.com. Accomplishment Coaching is the world's finest coach training program, has been for the last 17 years by design. And, of course, the world's finest training program, got to turn out the world's finest coaches. Among the many things I love about their program is that you get an actual coach each and every week for the entire duration of the program instead of having to go find your own or something like that. I also love that they have more hours, more training hours, more actual coaching hours, more receiving coaching hours than any other program out there, more books to read, more coursework to do than any other program out there. So when you come out of there, you are ready to get your ICF credential and move forward powerfully in a thriving coaching practice. If that sounds like something you're interested in, go check out Accomplishment Coaching at accomplishmentcoaching.com. Here's my favorite thing. Ready? You can go observe their coach training program in person. You can go check it out before you even put down a dime. It's free by invitation. You can just get there and watch like a fly on the wall and see what those folks are up to, see if it's right for you. As far as I know, the only coach training program that does that in the world. So check it out, accomplishmentcoaching.com. You can find them in the following cities. Are you listening? San Diego, California, Seattle, Washington, Victoria, British Columbia, Chicago, Illinois, New York City, the Big Apple, and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Check it out, accomplishmentcoaching.com. All right, time to bring in our guest co-host for the day. As you know, all the cool kids are coming and being guest co-hosts here. I'm learning to speak English. Very exciting time for me. If you're interested in that, check out, simply write an email to producer@thecoachingshow.com or click on the link in the coachingshow.com. And we would love to invite you on. We'd love to find out more about you. This extraordinary woman is Emily Golden. She is a fine coach. She's just celebrating her birthday this week. We're going to find out all about her. Emily Golden, look around outside. Where are you today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm in beautiful Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
It's a beautiful place to be from.
The sun is shining. Yep. It's a great day here.
All right. Now, Emily, tell us about your practice. Tell us about how to find you. Who are you and what do you do?
Sure. So, Christopher, I left my corporate job of 17 years in human resources back in July of 16 to launch my coaching and HR consulting business full-time. I am also proud to be a mentor coach with Accomplishment Coaching.
Yeah.
And it is the world's finest coach training program. I love me some Accomplishment Coaching.
Thank you very much for that unsolicited testimony. How do we find out about you and the work that you do, especially those of us that are working with people that need HR consulting and coaching?
Sure. So you can find me at www.golden-resources.com. And I provide career and leadership coaching in private practice and in partnership with corporations, and I also do some HR consulting work. So I love to work with men and women who are living what seems like a very a life where they have it all, but they're feeling unfulfilled.
Very clear. And a lot of people, before I got into this coaching deal 20 years ago, 23 years ago, now I was successful and miserable. So if you're one of those folks or you're working with one of those folks, reach out to Emily Golden through golden-resources.com. I see what you did there. Golden. I like it. All right. I want to let you know one of the things we're most proud of around here, which is that we're in our 4th year of being a media partner with the International Coach Federation. Gives us an opportunity to support and promote the fine folks, the work of the fine folks involved in the association. I just spent some time up at the ACTO, the Association of Coach Training Organizations, and the GSAC, the Graduate School Association of Executive Coaching conferences, and of course the ICF was represented there. The International Coach Federation, also known as the ICF, is the leading global organization. It's a standalone, non-for-profit, and it's dedicated to advancing the coaching profession. They do that by setting high standards and providing independent certification for coaches, as well as accreditation for coach training programs like Accomplishment Coaching. And they've built a worldwide network, the world's largest network of professionally trained coaches. It's an extraordinary organization. There are chapters all over the place. So even if there's not one near you, it's a treasure trove of information, everything from coaching research to marketing materials to actual coaching demonstrations. So if you're looking for your credential or to get to the next level, you can hear what coaching sounds like at the ACC, PCC, and MCC level. The folks at the ICF are committed to connecting professional coaches like you and me with the tools and resources we need to succeed in our careers. So there's business information and marketing information, as well as just plain lots of different approaches to coaching, as well as lots of special interest groups. To learn more about the ICF and to stay up to date on their latest news and what's happening, visit coachfederation.org or check out ICF on Twitter at ICFHQ. We are also proud to have an ICF representative on the coaching show here each month, including George Rogers, who's the Assistant Executive Director, whom I just taped an interview with while I was back there in beautiful Toronto. I should let you know that also the ICF has returned to their global conferences, and they're having the ICF Converge, which is the first global conference, I think, in 5 years, this year in Washington, D.C., Okay, it's in the summertime, not the best time to be in D.C., but you don't care because you'll be inside talking to all those amazing global coaches. Check it out by going to coachfederation.org. All right, Miss Emily, you ready for our first guest, our Make a Difference, the person that's going to blow the little top off my head?
Yes.
All right. Are you everything okay over there, Emily? You sound a little slow today. Is that your yogi nature coming through?
Yeah, it's just my Buddha-like presence.
I got it.
No, everything's great over here.
All right, I'm feeling like maybe I'm a little over-caffeinated. Anyway, Jenny Santi is an extraordinary woman. She's a philanthropy advisor. So, but not like to people like you and me, like what to do with my, $50, $100 donations. She's got a consulting practice that serves clients, including signatories of the Buffett Gates Giving Pledge, an Academy Award-winning actress, and leading financial institutions in Europe and Asia. Basically, she helps people channel their wealth, power, and search for meaning towards social good. She's also written a book a couple of years ago called The Giving Way to Happiness, Stories and Science Behind the Life-Changing Power of Giving. And she's here to share her passion about helping people discover how to give their time, talents, and treasure in ways that not only change the world, but also bring happiness and fulfillment to their own lives. Welcome, Jenny Santi. Hello. We just need to push a button.
Oh, can you hear me?
There you are. Now it's all the technology.
Hi.
Hi, Jenny. Will you look around? Look around outside. Where do you find yourself today?
Right now, I'm in Florence, in Italy.
Oh, I'll trade you.
Hey.
Well, welcome. I mean, it's second only to Cherry Hill, New Jersey, in terms of beautiful places to be. But
not New Jersey.
Look, I think that maybe the place to start for us is that all of us look to people like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and the great philanthropists of our time, and even Oprah, and think, good for them, yay, but they've got bazillions of dollars. Is philanthropy something that's limited to, the people with $1 billion or more? Is there something that we can do, those of us that are, still working on our first million?
Well, absolutely. There's a lot that we can do. And, the truth is that even though I'm a philanthropy advisor by profession, most of the time I don't even really like the word philanthropy because it's so often misunderstood and so often misspelled. And it sounds too elite. It tends to exclude the average person. Even some of the wealthier investors, funnily enough, don't consider getting involved because who's as rich as Bill Gates? So over the years, we've come to associate the word with donations in the tens and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
But the reality is that if we just simply go back to the roots of the word philanthropy, it simply means the love of humanity. It comes from the Greek root words phil meaning love and anthropos meaning mankind. So it's just a love of humanity. So, it's time we redefine philanthropy by going back to its roots. And it's time we realize that we can all be philanthropists.
Wow, it's impressive. It's a little bit daunting, right? Where do we start?
Well, we can give our time, our talents, and treasures to something that we care about. And the wonderful part that I've discovered through the years is that by changing the world, we can also change our own lives in the process. And over the years, I've gathered insights from hundreds of people from various walks of life, whether they're entrepreneurs or idealistic students or diehard activists or passionate volunteers, and even very young children, each of whom have given to something that is close to their hearts. And here are some of the best things that I've learned from them about how you can give, how you should give. The number one thing is that you should give to something that is related to your passion and your personal experiences. Take, for example, if you have gone through something particularly difficult in life, it will help you heal and overcome these personal challenges. In a study of alcoholics going through the AA program, for example, those who have helped others were nearly twice as likely to stay sober a year later, and their levels of depression were lower too. So imagine what you can do if you just went back to something that's been haunting you for many years and help others who are going through the same thing.
So I'm noticing that, for me anyway, there's a lot that's sort of in balance here, right? When I hear that things that I treasure or prize are under attack in our political universe, I want to defend those. And so when I hear something that I believe in, like Planned Parenthood, which makes healthcare available to millions of women, is under attack, I want to give to them to sort of counteract the forces of evil. But if you say, what am I passionate about, it's more in the realm of education. So should I be parsing it out and putting a couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there, or what do you recommend when we've got sort of competing interests or a bunch of things that we want to support?
Well, we can start from someplace. And what I've seen is that over time, as people try out different ways to give, different places to volunteer, different places to give a bit of their resources, whether it's their time or their money, they discover what are they really, really close to, what are they passionate about. And it's not just the cause, but also the people that you meet. I interviewed a lot of people in the course of writing my book, The Giving Way to Happiness, and he said, one of my interviewees said, that about volunteering, that one door opens to 10 other doors, and that giving makes your circle of friends and acquaintances much more diverse and interesting. So as you continue down the path of giving, you realize what you're really attuned to and where your heart really is.
Get in here, Emily Golden. I can hear you got a lot of thoughts going on.
Yeah, I Jenny, thanks so much for the work you're doing out in the world. And as a mom of two children that I just adore and want to raise to be philanthropic, what recommendations do you have in terms of getting children involved with philanthropy?
Right. Well, a lot of people think that it's a matter of telling their kids what to do, right? But kids follow what they see and not what they hear. So the best thing that we can do is to be good examples to our children, whether it's our own children or our nieces and nephews. If they observe what we do and they know that we're sincere about it and they're not forced to do it, then they'll develop their own culture of giving as well.
I'm really conscious about that. I recently heard a story from my accountant, no less, where he was so proud because his adult son had stopped on the side of the road when he saw an accident and went and helped the person, even to the point of CPR, since he was a trained CPR person. It seems to me that there are things that we do, like I give to certain causes each and every month, right, as an automatic sort of deduction. But when I take my family to the clean up the park day, or when I actually, when we're good Samaritans and stop on the side of the road, as my accountant son did, that we really get a much different experience or flavor of what it is to connect and give to another. Do you speak to that? In other words, is it different when we write a check or have a withdrawal from our account versus when we actually get our hands dirty out there?
Absolutely. It's much more than just writing a check. In fact, a lot of the people that I've worked with say that that's the boring part, because that's just the money. And the most rewarding part is when you actually see for yourself what is the good that is happening because of your contributions, because of the time you've been volunteering, because of the time you've spent with these people and organizations in need.
Okay. So, Emily, what are you hearing? I mean, your family, I assume, does things through your place of worship. You may do some things that are politically minded. Do you see anything for yourself around giving and where you are, or maybe where you're not?
I do. I see massive opportunity for my husband and I to really have giving as part of our conversation at home. Even more than what we do today. And I'm really interested in this. Jenny, you talk about how altruism activates the same pleasure centers of the brain, stimulated by food, sex, and drugs. And I just love the idea of, like, as a family, experiencing that, the joy, the pleasure that being altruistic provides. How does that work?
Absolutely. So there are many stories, many anecdotes that say giving feels good, oh, giving feels great, right? But I wanted to find out, is there any truth behind those sayings, or is that all fluff? And what I discovered through a lot of research is that there is now scientific evidence that giving makes people happy and fulfilled and leads to better health. Like, as you mentioned, Emily, there are studies that show that altruism or doing good deeds for others activates the same parts of the brain that light up when we engage in pleasurable activities such as eating or even making love. So, there's proof that it really activates the pleasure centers of the brain.
I'll have what she's having.
As you mentioned, kids, as we were talking about, kids learn more from what you do than what you say. And there are lots and lots of opportunities to involve kids in the process of giving. Talking about values, it doesn't take that much effort, because these conversations can happen while the family is gathered together for meals, doing household chores, playing games, going on road trips, and in order for children to truly understand what it means to be compassionate and fair and kind to others, parents and adults around them will need to show the deeds in action. And giving together or volunteering together is an excellent opportunity to demonstrate these values and put theory into practice rather than just talking about what you kids should be doing.
Nice. What do you think, Emily Golden? Anything you're going to take on out of this awareness?
Thank you so much. I am. Actually, my husband just went to a local food bank through work, and he came home, he had a great day. He told the whole family about it, and I am going to declare that my family, before the summer is over, is going to go into a food bank in Camden and support our local community. Because, Jenny, you're so right. We can talk the talk, but if we're not walking the talk, it doesn't make the same. It doesn't have the same impact.
Nice.
How old are your children, Emily?
My kids are 9 and 12 and a half.
Great. So what I would suggest is you convene just a very, very informal family meeting and discuss what areas your family members and children are most interested in working with each other on, and not just simply drag them along to whatever you care about, because they might see it as a chore. Ask your children, what are they really passionate about? Is it the environment? So perhaps you can do an environmental cleanup, or are they animal lovers? Perhaps they can volunteer in an animal shelter. Do they like cooking? So perhaps they can help out in a soup kitchen. So it's an opportunity to do something fun and that they enjoy, and also for you as parents to remind the family of how fortunate you are to have each other.
That's such a great and clear path. I'm going to take that on too. Thank you so much for that. Let's talk briefly about the downside of altruism. I think all of us know healing professionals, do-gooders, people who are kind, caretaking human beings who get burnt out, who get depleted, where, they've given and the need will sadly seems to never stop. What advice, does your research find is actually useful for people who have maybe given a little too much or are out of balance on the side of depleting themselves?
Right. I myself experienced this. In fact, in the days that my book was just about to come out, because, my book is entitled The Giving Way to Happiness.
Right. Not the giving way to depleting yourself, right?
Exactly. So during those days that my book was coming out, I myself went through a crisis and wondered, my gosh, how could I have written such a thing? Because, it's not like I feel absolutely happy every day, every day that I'm giving something. And I'm not even a naturally super positive, optimistic, chirpy, cheerful person. There's a part of me that gets down. I have that side of me, and I wondered, how can I have written such a book? I felt almost like a fake for having done so. But I realized that so many other people who are idealistic as I am feel the same way. We start out with a huge advantage of being so idealistic, and that idealism is a huge motivator. And we're deeply passionate about making a difference, and we have this very natural energy source. But it's very hard to sustain one's motivation and commitment and passion to make a difference in the long haul when the grind never stops. And if you think about it, a lot of the causes that we are each trying to solve are very, very difficult. Take, for example, the issue of climate change or environmental degradation, right? We might not even see any solution in our lifetime, but does that mean we just give up, right? So many people who are passionate about these causes, whether it's the environment, whether it's animal rights, whether it's major incurable diseases such as cancer, Parkinson's disease, many people succumb to burnout. These activities are emotionally draining. These activities can be the opposite of happiness.
So it's something we need to keep our eye on for our clients and ourselves, I guess. I want to make sure people know how to get a hold of, first of all, the book, The Giving Way to Happiness, Stories and Science Behind the Life-Changing Power of Giving, is available truly wherever fine books are sold, and certainly on Amazon, but also on Jenny's website, which is Jenny Santi. That's JennySanti.com. You can also follow Jenny on Twitter by going to @JennySanti, same spelling, JennySanti. Jenny, our time has flown by. We've got just under a minute left, but I'd love to give it to you and give you a parting thought or parting shot for our listeners today. What would you have us know or think about?
Yes, well, I would say that over the years, I discovered that there are really great emotional and psychological returns that we get from giving back. the more we do for others, the happier we can be. And the happiness and optimism that I have obtained personally from helping others.
Oh, I think she said from giving, but we lost her just the wrong moment. Jenny Santi, I'm so sorry we had some sort of a glitch in the website or the internet. Meanwhile, go to jennysanti.com or check her out on Twitter or both and get the book. When we come back, a literal crash course in positivity. Stay with us.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children. After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace.sandiego.edu.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. VinVillage connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. VinVillage is where wine lovers connect.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Gotham Books presents Marriage Rules by Harriet Lerner. The book Martha Beck calls required reading for anyone hoping to interact successfully with any other human, not just for those in romantic relationships. Get your copy wherever books and ebooks are sold, and visit harrietlerner.com to learn how to change your marriage today.
Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Accomplishment Coaching is proud to present the following fine programming. Accomplishment Coaching, where coaches lead and leaders coach. AccomplishmentCoaching.com.
Welcome back to The Coaching Show with your host, Master Certified Coach Christopher McCullough.
And I'm joined today by the amazing Emily Golden as our guest co-host, joining us from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I, of course, am in America's finest city, San Diego, California. Emily, did you learn something from our last guest?
I sure did. So much opportunity for particularly working with my children in philanthropic efforts. So lots to take back to the family, Christopher.
Nice. And what a great place to start with our family and our kids. That Emily Golden, you can find out more about her and the work that she does, both in leadership development and in working with HR departments and organizational clients by going to golden-resources.com. Don't spell hyphen, it's an actual hyphen, golden-resources.com. All right, thank you for joining us, and our next guest is literally going to give us a crash course in positivity, or had one himself. He's the author of the book, Head First, A Crash Course in Positivity, and I don't think I want to say much more about him because we'll learn all about him and a rubber chicken when he joins us. Please welcome to the microphone Steve Lawton. Hello, sir.
Hi, how are you, Chris? Great to be here with you today.
Thanks for being had, as we like to say. Steve, look around. Where do you think you are today?
Where do I think I am?
In the world, physically.
I'm in Austin, Texas.
Beautiful
I'm standing
place.
in my office.
Nice.
In my home office.
Awesome. And Austin, Texas. Wow, great food, good politics, good people, good music. You got it all.
It's a great place. We've lived here 22 years, and I love every minute of it. Don't ever want to leave. Maybe to San Diego, I don't know. I don't know that I could afford San Diego.
I'd love for you and everybody else to move here, but we're closed. So just stay where you are.
Austin is too.
Yeah.
Or it should be.
What a coincidence, right?
Yeah.
But Cherry Hill's still open, right, Emily?
We're accepting applications.
We're not exactly open for offers, but we're accepting applications. All right. Well, let's start talking about positivity. Emily, I want to give you the opportunity for the first crack here. What do you want to know about positivity? What has this guy, Steve, got to share with us?
Wow, Steve, first of all, your story is super inspirational. What has led you to on this path around educating people and organizations on positivity?
Yeah, so it's been a hell of a journey for me. So the story is an amazing story, and really, kind of what led me here to be sharing it is something that happened. It was literally a year to the day after the accident that I had that the story is all about. And when I had, I celebrate that day. It's March 9th, and I celebrate it like a birthday. I call it my Alive Day.
Wow.
And the first Alive Day that we had, my wife and kids and our close family sitting around the table, we all had dinner together, just a nice dinner. My wife made a cake and wrote "Life is Good" on it, and we all just sat around and said, "Yay, you're not dead. You're still here. This is awesome." And when I went to bed, it was a wonderful evening. And when I went to bed, going to bed that night, I was changing, and I believe God spoke to me. And what I heard was, "Steve, you lived a bonus year. What'd you do with it?" And I froze, and it's like trying to think up something good, and like 15, 20 seconds racking my brain for something huge that I did, and all I could come up with was I healed. And I heard, "Okay, that was good. That was a lot of work, and you did a great job with that. But you can't do that with your second bonus year. What are you going to do with your next bonus year?" And again, kind of froze, and like trying to come up with something good, like save the elephants or stop climate change or something. And it's like, all I could come up with was, I'm going to tell my story. And I heard, "Okay, that was good. That'll be good." And it was gone. And that was when this journey of sharing this story really began. And it's been a little over 2 years now, and it's been just this amazing journey. I shared it for the first time at work, and it was a story about not just about a skiing accident, but about how my attitude literally saved my life, how important our attitudes are in everything that we do, and then practical advice and things that you can do to improve your attitude and get those better outcomes in your life. And so that's what led me to write the book and to you here today.
Well, let's talk about the accident, because I think that although obviously Emily and I know about your story, why don't you share with people what happened? You're just sort of walking along the street one day, or what happened?
Yeah, so I was on a spring break trip with the family. Yep, we were in Breckenridge, Colorado. I've skied my whole life, and the family goes on ski trips usually about once a year. And we were on a spring break trip. Breckenridge, Colorado. It was day 2 of the trip, and my brother-in-law and I were skiing. We got up when the lifts opened, and we beat our wives out onto the slopes to go. We were going to go ski some black bump runs. And on the first run of the day, which happened to be a groomed black run, was supposed to be a warm-up run, I came out of both skis in the center of the run, slid down the run, and the run was so steep, my brother-in-law said I accelerated. And at the bottom of the run turned, and I went straight and went headfirst into a tree. And hit the tree. Ski Tracks app on my phone, GPS on my phone was recording recorded the whole thing, and said I was going 45 miles an hour when I hit the tree. So I was wearing a helmet, and so it's not like my main message, but if you're a skier or know anybody that skis, like, just listening to this, a requirement is you have to wear a helmet.
Yes.
I can promise I would not be talking to you today if I wasn't wearing that helmet. A big hole on the back of it.
Wow.
So that was the start of it. So just the injuries I had, just real quick, just 45 miles an hour into a tree, you can guess that there was a lot of injuries. But I had a severe head injury, brain injury, bleeding between the skull and the brain, bleeding inside the brain, bled into my left eye, my left ear, damaged the nerve that controls where my eyes point, so my eyes weren't pointed in the same direction, collapsed both lungs, tore a blood vessel behind my sternum that bled into my heart cavity, so my heart couldn't beat properly, and I broke 11 bones. I broke my sternum in several places, 3 ribs, my left arm, and I broke 6 vertebrae. I broke my neck in 2 places and my back in 4 places.
For most people, that's you're all done right there.
Yeah.
So it's extraordinary that you're talking with us. What was the? And I imagine you've told this story a bunch of times, and some of us get kind of wrapped up in the details of the amount of pain, the amount of healing there was to do. But I'm so interested in what your spiritual experience was. Do you know what I mean? Like when you hit something, like I think we all agree, human body not meant to hit anything at 45 miles an hour, right? Anything stationary at all.
Right.
So you're a mess. Was there some, white light? Did you see, angels? Did Buddha appear? Like, did lotus flowers pop up? What was your spiritual experience, or was there any? Was it just kind of a big ow?
Yeah. So I don't have any recollection of any bright lights, or I barely remember the accident. I have like little snippets of the right after the accident, but I do not remember the accident. Don't remember the white lights or anything about that moment. I did have some spiritual moments a few days later that I'd love to share with you, but at that time I didn't have. There was nothing that happened. My wife. The thing I will tell you is about that. Like my wife, when she got to the hospital, I was flown from Breckenridge to Denver to the hospital. Mm-hmm. My wife had to drive because there was no room in the car for her or in the helicopter for her. And when she got to the hospital, there was a miscommunication with the emergency room receptionist, and he said, "Have a seat in the waiting room, and the chaplain will be down to talk to you." And she's sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, why was the chaplain coming and talking to me?" And all she could think of was that I hadn't made it. Mm-hmm. And for about 10 minutes, she's sitting there trying to hold herself together. And one of the things she described, she told me about later, I thought was funny. And she said, "Man, if Steve's dead, he's going to be pissed."
Nice.
And I don't, like I said, I don't have any recollection of that happening. But I can see myself standing at the pearly gates making an argument for me. Send me back down. I've got more to do. I'm having a good time. I can beat this. Just give me a chance. But she knew that would be my attitude. And it was from the moment that I woke up to the time I was completely recovered to today. It was all about, I'm going to recover 100%. There was no if, it was just when. And it was just, I knew it was going to be a lot of hard work. I knew I was going to endure a lot of pain and a lot of misery, but I knew I could get through it and recover 100%.
Well, we're delighted that you did, and thank you for sharing your experience, especially, like, I think maybe I'm the only one, but I'm always interested in people's, near-death experiences and what they go through.
Yeah.
Now, here you are on the other side. Is there actually, your message is one of positivity. Is there actually some sort of research on this? I mean, does it make a difference whether you go through life grumpy or happy? Because each of us who's been married knows that people go through, our partners, not us, but our partners go through phases of grumpiness and happiness. Is there actually any benefit to the happy, positive time?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of science behind it. Once I got home from the hospital, I started, with the brain injury, I started studying the brain really for the purpose of finding out, am I going to recover? And what I learned 2 things about the brain during that process. First was that a positive attitude plays a very important role, a huge role in healing. And also what I learned was a huge role in your attitudes play a huge role in everything that you do and the outcomes in everyday situations that you have. And there's a ton of science behind it. There's a couple studies that I talk about regularly. One was a study with Asian schoolgirls where they split them into a group and gave them a math test, and they told one group, they put them in a confident mindset by telling them that, hey, Asians typically do better on math tests than the general population, and they told the other group, girls typically do worse on math tests than boys.
Wow.
And that was the only difference in the test, and that one comment changed the confidence level and changed the results of the test, changed the test scores. And another one, Dr. Amy Cuddy showed how your body posture affects your mindset, and then she put people through mock interviews and videotaped them and had people choose who would you hire. And people that watched the interviews said predominantly they would choose the people that before the interview stood in a positive posture and got that positive, walked into that interview with a positive mindset. Those are just two examples of some of the science behind how important our attitude is to everyday outcomes. And I think we all experience it. We know when we're walk into a situation confident and positive about the outcomes we're going to get, we're much more likely to get those outcomes. And there's a ton of science behind it.
Go ahead, Emily. I can hear you breathing. Yeah. Do it.
Yeah. Steve, I have a question about how to support people around us that are grumpy, to Christopher's point. But, like, let's say in an office setting, how do you deal with the office grump?
Yeah, great question. And a big part of the positivity is the environment that you're in, because we're all reflections of the environment that we're in. We're all affected by it, and we can't control the environment you're in. And you know that we've all experienced that it's very hard to be positive when you're surrounded by negativity. And on the flip side of that, it's very hard to be negative when you're surrounded by positivity.
Nice point.
And so really, you can't control the environment that you're in many cases, but you can influence it. And there's a few specific things that you can do to what I call investing positivity in your network. It's one of the positivity principles in the book. And they're just practical things that you can do to affect the people in your network and make them more positive. And like one example of that is just giving someone a compliment. Could be the grump, or it could be giving someone else a compliment in front of the grump. Because both of these works. It's better if you give the compliment to the grump, because that's the biggest boost of positivity that you can give someone is by giving them a specific compliment and sharing along with that what they did, share what it meant to you or the results, like how it made you feel or the results of the outcome of what you saw them do. When you give someone a specific compliment and what it meant to you, it really boosts their positivity and their attitude. Side effects of that is also when you give someone else a compliment, it's also one of the most powerful things you can do to boost your own positivity. And everyone, if you do it in a public setting, everyone who witnesses that attitude, that compliment, will also get a boost. Not to the same extent as the giver and the receiver, but you'll get a boost. Now, one of the ways I did this inside of Dell, where I work, is I had opportunity to run staff meetings, and we changed our process. Well, we started a staff meeting with something positive, and the very first time we did it, it was super awkward. But I kind of primed some people. I'm going to go do this, and I primed them. Be ready to respond because I'm going to call on you. But I said, we put up on the screen, here are the cultural attributes that we want for our organization. Things like innovation and leadership and collaboration. There were 12 different words to describe the culture we want. And I said, tell me about someone else in this room that in the last week is shown one of these attributes. And we had the person I had prepped kind of started us off. So I saw Joey do this, and that was really innovative, and I really appreciate you doing that. That was fantastic. I never would have thought of that. You made a big difference for that project. And Joey's sitting there going, wow, that was good. And then two other people said something similar, and you could see the entire attitude of the entire room change. People all of a sudden kind of like, okay, this is different. They started leaning forward. And throughout the rest of that meeting, we still talked about our problems and the issues. It's not like being positive is about ignoring the things that are wrong. It's about setting the mindset right before you attack those problems so that you're attacking the underlying problems and not, you get people fully engaged and they're not being defensive. So by starting a meeting or an interaction with something positive like that can make a huge difference in the outcome of that interaction. And giving someone a compliment is a way to do it. Smiling at someone, doing something fun together, something that you enjoy. Talk about the purpose of what it is that you and that group are trying to accomplish, and why that's important. Any of those things would help to boost positivity.
Great. And there's a real reason for this. In other words, positivity is contagious. Positivity produces more positive. I guess where I'm looking is, if you ask an optimist, in my experience, if you ask an optimist, what their general attitude is, they'll say, oh, I'm an optimist, or oh, I'm a positive person. But if you ask a pessimist, what will they say? What does everybody say who's a pessimist?
Say, it doesn't matter what I do.
Right, or that I'm a realist, right? I'm just being realistic.
Right. Yeah, I'm just being realistic. That's
I'm
right.
just being real.
So I'm envisioning people, who hear your message, who read your book, who are, committed to making a difference in an environment, coming into a culture where there are quote-unquote realists, right? And, just that exhaustion of trying to bring positivity in a negative environment. What have you got some tools, some techniques, some tip for us? Do we just have to, go outside and breathe some air and come back in, or?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things going through my head. The first one is, absolutely, you have to take a breath, take a break, take a rest. If you are frustrated with the environment that you're in and you're trying, you just feel like you're bumping your head up against the wall, it may be time for a quick break, or kind of set yourself away from the situation before regain your energy before you come back at it again. Is certainly one approach. The other thing that I would say is the persistence is the key with this, and it's what I talk about in the book, and for these people that are positive or negative or optimists or pessimists or realists or whatever we want to call them. If we're being nice, we can call them realists. But one of the other things that I learned about the brain and about positivity, both within ourselves and within an organization, is within our brains, we're all experiencing all the time this concept of neuroplasticity. And basically what it means is that our brains are constantly rewiring in themselves based on our experiences and what we think.
Speak for yourself. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. Okay.
But it's happening. There's a ton of science behind this that has shown that the physical structure in our brain is changing every day because of what we do and what we think. The examples of it are they showed that London cab drivers have a bigger portion of their brain dedicated to spatial maps because they use it all the time. Wow. Violin players have a bigger portion of their brain dedicated to their left hand that's on the neck of the violin versus the right hand because they're more intricate movements. My golf swing isn't any better because I don't spend any time on the range and build those neuron connections to make my golf swing better. Positivity works the same way. They've done science that has shown that people that have done a gratitude journal write down 3 things that they're grateful for every day that happened to them in the past 24 hours. They did a baseline MRI, and after 7 days they did another MRI of their brain, and they showed that the positivity circuits in their brain were physically different just from doing those exercises. And that difference was there to some degree even a month later. So positivity circuits, you're not just as optimistic as you are or pessimistic as you are today, you can change it through neuroplasticity. All you have to do to change it is practice it.
Beautiful, beautiful, clear message. The book is Head First, A Crash Course in Positivity, available wherever fine books are sold, but also on Steve's website. Go check it out. There's a lot of great information about positivity at Steve, S-T-E-V-E-H, Lawton, L-A-W-T-O-N. That's SteveHLawton.com. Steve, is that the best website, or is there another one that people should be checking out?
No, that's it.
All right.
And if you want to like do something inside that website and kind of see where you're at, take the quiz inside of there. It's 16 quick questions to help you get your positivity baseline. And we haven't had a chance to talk about Henrietta, but the giant rubber chicken that saved my life.
Right.
I've hired her. She analyzes the answers to your questions, and she will provide you with the 3 positivity principles that are most impactful to you right now. And you and Henrietta will either be, depending on how you answered the questions, either be on a positivity mountaintop, on the positivity trail, or on a positivity wasteland. But wherever you are, there's something for you to do.
Yeah, and that positivity wasteland you're probably calling realistic. So let's get a parting thought or a parting shot from you. You can include the story of Henrietta or not, whatever you like. But if you had something to say to 30,000 coaches today, what would you have us know?
Yeah, that positivity is, our attitudes are enormously important in the outcomes that we get. In your results and what you're going to get with your clients, what I would recommend, and one of the things that I recommend people do to get started on this is, before you have an important event in your life, whether that's a meeting with a client, a presentation, a radio interview, whatever it is, take a moment, take that 3 minutes before that event to purposefully put yourself in a positive mindset. Could be by staying in that confident posture, could be by giving somebody a compliment, listening to music, getting some exercise, whatever it is that you do, put yourself in that positive mindset before that event, and you're going to be more likely to have a better outcome in that event.
Beautiful. Steve, congratulations on your full recovery. Thank you so much for bringing this important message to us and everyone in the world. That is Steve Lawton. The book is Head First, A Crash Course in Positivity, and his website is Steve H. Lawton. That's SteveHLawton.com. Well, Emily, that's another edition of the coaching show behind us, as we say. You are Emily Golden. Your website is golden-resources.com. How about you? A parting thought or a parting shot? We've got about 20 seconds for you to impart your wisdom to thousands of coaches.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the opportunity to co-host. And I'm just left with, my mom has always said, attitude is everything. Pick a good one. And, man, Steve, your story just really has me taking that in. So, to all of you, attitude is everything.
All right, let's take our positive attitude and our new awareness about the importance of giving and go change some lives. Why not? That's another edition of the coaching show behind us. Thank you, my dear listener, for being with us. Thanks to Accomplishment Coaching, our sponsor, and our media partner, the International Coach Federation. We will talk to you next week. Thanks for listening.
Tired of presentations with no impact, no inspiration, and no traction? Do dull speakers have you and your team disengaged and distracted by smartphones? Christopher McCullough brings energy, insights, and 2 decades of experience, delivered with punch, humor, and heart. Your team will leave energized, uplifted, and with a sense of purpose. Visit ChristopherMcCullough.com to bring some heat to your next speaking engagement. McCulloughe. ChristopherMcCullough.com.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just Just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Hi, Scale listener. This is David Finkel, co-host with Jeff Hoffman of Scale Your Business. I wanted to let you know that our newest book, Scale, was just released, and to encourage you to get your copy. The book will give you 7 proven principles to grow your business and get your life back. Scale will help you work less by getting your business to produce more. Get your copy online or at your local bookseller. For more information, visit us online at scaleyourbusinesstoolkit.com.
Cybersecurity is the fastest growing job sector. The San Diego Mayor's Cyber Cup encourages kids to consider computer security as an interesting course of study and a valuable career path. Securing Our eCity helps lead this youth competition to create interest and awareness among students and their schools. The San Diego Mayor's Cyber Cup. Learn more at securingourecity.org or call 619-630-2444.
Do you love wine, but it doesn't love you back in the morning? Then it's time to try Alcotox, the ultimate hangover cure. Alcotox is a dietary supplement that reduces the harmful side effects of alcohol, and it benefits all alcohol consumers, not just those who occasionally overindulge. So now, for less than the cost of a drink, you can wake up hangover-free. To learn more, go to vinvillage.com and let Alcotox make hangovers a thing of the past.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you've helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine